Hi everybody. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to give you a little bit of an overview on internet search strategies, and I'm going to give it from the perspective of I think these are strategies that you can teach younger students so that they can search the internet more effectively. As adults, we would probably have different search strategies, but I think for younger students, we need to help them out. And so these are some examples. I'm going to start with this reminder about the new literacy skills, and that is networking. Networking is a new literacy skill that indicates that one has the ability to search for, synthesize, and disseminate information. So our focus here is really helping students gain an understanding of a new media literacy specific to searching on the internet. And then hopefully we would follow that up then with how do you take that information, synthesize it, and then disseminate it, or how are you going to use it in that next step. So what I'd like to do is share with you a acronym, NETS. So remember it by NETS, but I will take you step by step through these four and use them as examples of, again, how you would help or illustrate to students how you search on the internet using these particular skills. So we'll start with the first one, and that is start narrow. This nets for better searching. I want to give credit to Dr. Bernie Dodge. He's actually at San Diego State University, and he came up with this acronym and these ideas specifically, again, to help children in searching and making better searches on the internet. So for searching narrow, what you want to do is think of all the words that would or would not appear on a perfect page that you were looking for. You guys, when I did this in the classroom, I would have it up on the board or a piece of white paper, and I would just brainstorm with kids. We're going to talk about, in second grade, one of the popular units in science was always dinosaurs. So I would have the students brainstorm with me all the things about dinosaurs that they wanted to learn about. Okay? And then what we would do is I would take them to the internet. So we'll go to specifically to Google here. Have my other stuff up. There we go. Up to Google, and we will just type in dinosaur. And I think you'll know what will happen here. This is what we typically do. And if this is how we teach kids to do it, we're going about it totally wrong, because for just typing in dinosaur, we got 19 million results. You can see up in this corner, that's not going to do the students any good. It starts off with a definition from Wikipedia, then we go to dinosaur barbecues, dinosaur ribs, stuff that, is that really where we want? This is probably an interesting site, Dinosaur National Monument, but again, that's probably not what we want. So we want to start narrow. How do you do that? And this is kind of where Boolean kind of search mechanisms start in and can help you. I'm over on the right here, and you'll see kind of this mechanical wheel. Pull that down, and you can get into an advanced search. Now, I think it's very, very important for students to become familiar with advanced searches. And what you do here is type in the important words that you want to find out about. So maybe I just want to find out about dinosaurs who are meat eaters. I know one of them is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Maybe I just want to know facts about that, okay, about that dinosaur. I've entered 5 more words And one of the things you can do too is none of these words. So if it's a meat eater, I know I don't really want to know anything about plant eaters. So I'm going to say no to plant eaters. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to click on the advanced search. Now once I've got my advanced search, notice that I've taken that down to 931,000. Now that's still way too many, right? Way too many, but the good thing about this is that I went from 19 million to 931. Now, we still have to get that down. So I'm going to go back to my wheel, go back to my advanced search, and what else can I do? Now you can keep putting in different things here, and you know, even if I would put quotes on certain things that I know that they were supposed to stay together, that probably will help me out. You know, just a little technique like that. So I was at 93,000. Now if I go back down, have a look at what I get. Now I'm down to 71,000. Look, by just putting in those quotes. So again, you're teaching the students how to really search for something and try to get the best information that they can. Now we're probably getting more to what we want to do. You know, this T-Rex fact sheet, Enchanted Learning, my guess is that that's probably not too bad. It's not that great of a looking website, but still it's probably not too bad. But I'm still going to go back to my advanced search. I want to show you a few more things to narrow it just a little bit. And that is, notice your language. You might have Spanish speaking children, help them out, Chinese, whatever it might be. You could search for that. Last update. You know, I only want to see the web pages that have been updated in the past year. That means it's current. I know they pay attention to it. Those are probably some of the best sites. You can play around with that. That may not be totally true all the time. Safe search, get the most relevant results. And notice this one, reading level. Aha. That's very, very important, because a lot of the information that we have or that we see on the internet, the reading level is not sometimes that, you know, that great for younger students. So I can click on that and go only to basic results, and then go to my advanced search. Okay, and now I've got basic. 37% of these sites are now, you know, the easiest, the ones that are easiest to read. And so if I want to see the intermediate ones, I just click on that and it gives me all the intermediate web pages. Okay, all the advanced pages, 2%, these would be the harder ones. Okay, so it separates them out, and how great that is. So 36% of 71,000, now I even got it back to that. So what is the largest meat eater? Dinosaurs. Here we go. Now if the students take the top 10, it's probably going to be a much better situation for them in terms of what they want to learn about. There's my Tyrannosaurus Rex. Notice there's not a lot of text. It's a little bit easier to read. Some great images there too. So that you know, that works for me. And then I can find good ones for my students too. The other thing that I want to point out is up here, say I just want videos. So if I click on videos, this will give me the best videos that they have found according to that search. Shopping, probably want to avoid, but images the same way. Instead of just going to Google Images, now here's some of the best images they have of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or, you know, filling in what it is. Again, that's not going to be perfect, but it's better than starting off with 91 million. So that starting narrow is very, very important, and I think it will help you get better. You can look at some of those others from the advanced history and see what else you want to fill out. But I think those are the major ones that will help you narrow the search and help you get better at it. So I hope that you use those tips, and I hope you find those very, very helpful in finding things out. The next one, I'll go back to the PowerPoint. The next one is find the exact phrase. There again, finding the exact phrase, that can easily be done on, again, the web page. You don't really have to go into the advanced search. You could just do it here if you know what you were looking for. What if I looked for the road less traveled? What poem is that in? Usually if I type in the exact phrase, I will be able to find the Robert Frost poem, The Road Not Taken. And easily, then I just click on it, and there I have it. Okay, so exact phrases, teach your students to use that as well. Another one, I would not take the garbage, would not take the garbage. Look at it, it comes out as actually one of the top ones. And if you're familiar with Shel Silverstein and some of his poetry, here we go. I found it. Here's the poem. Here's the entire poem, and you know, I found it just that quick. So exact phrases are very, very good. The next one, the third one, is a little bit different. Trim back the URL. You're probably not going to use this one a little bit, but I think it's a good one to at least give to students. This one I'm not going to illustrate in going out to the internet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you how this works. If you've ever done, say I plugged in this, a lot of our URLs, the Universal Resource Locator, the HTTP address, they're very long. And have you ever searched and then you get this not found? Okay, the requested URL was not found on the server. Usually what happens when you have an address this long is this is saying it's on this server, in this folder, in this folder, in this folder, and so forth. Okay, so what would happen is if you trim back the URL by, let's take off Shakespeare, and then click, can I find it now? Take off WebQuest and get down to the projects. Trim back, keep trimming back the URL by each backslash, and you might be surprised. It still might not quite get you where you need to be, but it might be helpful. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to stop here at the fourth one because I'm actually running out of time in terms of using my Screen-O-Matic, because I have to make these recordings 15 minutes or less. And so all I'm going to need is about 5 more minutes for another recording, and I will put that one up as well. So this is what I'll call part 1. Come back to part 2 and we'll finish this out, okay? Because I do have just a couple more things to share with you, okay? And that will be the last step.